right, welcome back to Friday Briefing. Thank you for staying with us and crossing over. I want now to bring in my very, very good teacher. People call him Professor, Word Master. Willis, good evening. It's great to see you looking fantastic in blue. I hope you're not feeling blue.
But it's about the color, but nothing like any. I hardly have feelings of some of these things. I just have to be Willis and Willis, and that is always a full stop.
I like that, Willis. It's great to see you for sure. And I've been waiting for this lesson today because...
I know.
Yeah, because there are many questions I've had with regard to pronunciations, and I've been arguing with a few of my colleagues here and there, so I'm happy that we are here tonight. Willis, I want us to start first of all by looking at
I'm right here.
Yeah, a word on the street, Willis, and then we continue with the show.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Subprice, subprice, subprice. Substitute, substitute, substitute.
Subdicious, subdicious, subdicious.
Some Judas, some Judas, some subjudice.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Subjudice, subjudice, subjudice.
Well, word on the street is always a charm. Willis, this word, I've had a number of pronunciations, so talk to us about it. I've had everything, So how do we pronounce it correctly, Willis?
Which one do you find yourself close to, Betty? Which one do you find yourself close to?
I don't subjudice. So I'm just like, okay, sour bro.
Well,
so talk to us about
yes, Betty. What really happens is, there are certain words or certain phrases which are borrowed from other languages. In fact, this is an adjective in English, but normally in law, and you find that it's borrowed from Latin.
Right.
And the correct or acceptable pronunciation is, in fact, it has 3 acceptable pronunciations, Betty. You can say subjudice, you can also say subjudice, or you can say subjudicate. So 3 acceptable pronunciations: subjudice, judice, or judicate. And remember, if a legal case is subjudice, subjudice, or subjudicate, it means it's still being discussed in court, and it's therefore illegal to talk about it on radio, TV, or in newspapers, or even elsewhere. So subjudice, subjudice, and subjudicate.
What? I'm so shocked, Willis, because I thought I even knew how to pronounce this word. I don't know. So it's subjudice. I didn't even, I did not imagine.
Don't think that you know, but you just have to know it. If you are in a career of serious communication, don't think about something. Just find out the right way to say it. But words are tricky, Betty. As I always say, nobody is perfect.
Subjudicate. I'm sure even many lawyers have known how to pronounce that word today, and you're welcome, our learned friends.
It happens, Betty. It happens. As I always say, not even Willis can be perfect. You can't know everything in a language like English. And remember, as I've said, this word is from Latin, and it's a phrase, though in English it's used as an adjective. And the lawyers, some lawyers really know how to pronounce some of these words because during their training, they are also told how to pronounce certain words or phrases, but they can be very tricky for anybody, even some lawyers.
Right. Oh, okay. We learn. I'm learning, Willis, even as we move along. So, Willis, let's now move on to this other word, and I'll spell it out. I don't want to be surprised again. W-A-R-D-E-N. Warden, 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 wardin.
Yes, that is it, Betty. The first one. You say warden. A game warden.
Okay.
Don't say warden. Warden is very common locally.
Yeah.
But the way you said it at first, that is warden or warden. And remember, Betty, we also say an award, not an award. Many people talk about awarded,
Yes.
award, reward. We have nothing like that. The A and R in those words function as a digraph. That is a combination of two letters representing one sound. And in this case, warden or warden,
Yeah.
award and reward have the long sound O.
Okay.
Warden,
Warden.
warden, award and reward. Yes.
Warden. All right. Thank you very much, Willis, for that. Moving on to these other words. I know this word as rhetorical. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, the tricky thing about it is you know it the right way, but better remember we don't say rhetoric.
Okay.
You say rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
And you also say rhetorician.
Okay.
Rhetorician, the person.
Yeah.
But this adjective is rhetorical, the way you said it.
Right.
So we talk of rhetorical question, not a rhetorical question. Yes.
Rhetorical question. Got it, Willis. Moving on to this
Yes,
other
Betty.
word. COUPON. Coupon, coupon. Which is which, Willis?
Coupon. Coupon.
Coupon.
Coupon.
Coupon.
Yes.
Just as simple as that, Willis. Coupon. All
As
right.
simple as such. And Betty, we can also remember that we say courier, not courier services.
Okay.
Courier services, we also talk of coupon, yes.
All right. Courier services, coupon. Willis, I'll spell the next word because I'm not sure about the pronunciation. DERIVATION. Yeah, that one.
DERIVATION.
Yeah.
Oh, that is derivation. Derivation. Don't say derivation. It's derivation.
Derivation. Derivation.
Yes.
What about to deprive somebody
Yes,
or
Betty.
to deprive somebody or something? Is it deprivation, deprivation? Which is which, Willis?
Betty, you used the verb deprive. Deprive. But when that word inflects for the sake of grammatical function in a sentence, now you say de, not deprivation, deprivation, avoid all those. Say depri, deprivation. Derive,
deprivation.
derivation. Deprive,
Deprivation.
deprivation.
Right.
Remember? Yes, Betty. Preserve, preservation, not preservation.
Oh, okay.
Reserve, reservation. That is where we sometimes, have to understand
Yes.
the partial changes of pronunciation when we have what we call inflections.
Okay. Hey, Willis, yeah, you have to keep reminding us. Actually, it's reservation, preservation.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Derivation,
Yeah.
deprivation.
Deprivation. There you go, Willis.
Yes.
Moving on to this other word that I know
Yes.
as subjugate. Is that correct, Willis? Subjugate, subjugate. Which is which?
That is it. Subjugate.
Okay.
Subjugate. Don't say gate. Don't have that stress on gaze. Just say subjugate. The stress
Subjugate.
is at the onset,
Right.
at the beginning of that word. Yes. Subjugate.
Subjugate. All right. Moving on to this other word. AUTUMN. Autumn, autumn. In reference to that
Yes.
season.
In that word, Betty, letter N is silent. A silent letter is a letter that is not pronounced when you're
Right.
saying a word. So you say autumn, don't say autumn. Some people find themselves struggling to pronounce that N, but
Yes.
that N is not pronounced. You say autumn, just like you say column.
Column.
Don't say column. Column.
And not
But the
column.
person, Betty, is a columnist. No, column.
Column.
Column. COLUMN. Yes, column. That way, Betty.
All right. Okay, so it's column. All right, and autumn, right?
Yes.
All right. Moving on to
Yes,
this
Betty.
other word. COLLATION. Collation, collation. Which is which? Really?
Collation. Collation. Don't say collation, Betty. There are many people who, when they find the T-I-O-N, they think it's unique or stylish to say jeune, like nation, location, collision. That is terrible, Betty, in English phonology.
Yes.
T-I-O-N is shun or shon. Collation, nation, location, nothing like Jean. But you say Jean when you have S-I-O-N, like in the word collision. Head-on collision. That is when you use the voiced sound J. But for this one, collation from the verb collate.
Okay. Collision. Got it, Willis.
Yes.
Now, this next word, I always see it and I try to avoid it as much as I can. I-M-B-U-E. I see it and I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce it.
I-M-B-U-E.
Yeah. Imbue.
Don't avoid something just because you don't know how to say it or you're not conversant with it.
Yeah.
Mistakes always lead people to the right things. That is, when you don't want to make a mistake, then you'll never do it the right way. Just try the way you normally do it. But I know many people fear certain words. Somebody looks at a word like, I remember one person one time told me, Willis, the moment I meet the word embezzle, I always feel like not pronouncing it because I'm used to embezzle. And embezzle is nowhere in English. You say embezzle. And now the word you've asked about, Betty, I-M-B-U-E, you say imbue. To imbue somebody or to imbue something. That is to fail somebody. Yes, imbue. That is to fail somebody or to fail something with strong feelings, opinions, or values, Betty. And now that you've brought imbue, I had a discussion with somebody who really, confronted me with the word bamboo. You don't say bamboo. We have kiambu, but you don't say bamboo. Bamboo, no. In English, we have bam and then boo. Bamboo. You get that?
I get it, Willis. So this is the one that I'm scared of is imbue.
Embody, imbue.
Okay.
Yeah, imbue, just say im and then bue. Very simple, imbue.
Okay. Imbue, got it. Got it,
yes,
Willis.
Betty.
All right, now, those words you just see and you just run for your life. That one is normally one of them.
It happens. Betty, at some point in life, there are certain things you see and you just feel like, oh no, why do I have to face this one? Or why do I have to face so and so? But you don't have to fear. With matters knowledge, just be ready to ask. When you don't know, don't assume and don't create an impression that I know. No. Creating an impression, out.
All right.
Asking for how to do something, that is the best.
That's the best
imbue, embed, embody, embezzle, embody, and all that, we should avoid all those. And don't say imbue. Imbue, no.
Okay.
Imbue.
Imbue. Well, English sounds like science tonight, Willis. Thanks for making it sound like it's such a complex language.
Yes, it's always like that, but we have to get it right. When something is to be got right, you have to strive to get it right, Betty.
For sure. Okay, now, Willis, coming to our feedback question. This one comes from Vincent Mirando of Kitale. Thank you for watching the show, Vincent. You're asking about this word, T-I-E-R, tia, tire, second tire, or second tier.
Oh.
Or tier.
Betty, that word. I think I've had about 1 or 2 weeks with people asking me about it. That is T-I-E-R. When we talk about layers, a layer, like now in governance or in government, you say tier, not tire.
Okay.
Tier, T-I-E-R, tier, that is layer, a layer of something, like even when you talk about a cake.
Yes.
Tier or a cake with 4 or 5 tiers.
Yeah.
Tiers.
Tier.
Just like T-E-A-R for I liquid. Tier. But Betty, when it is about one or somebody who ties something, that is when you say tire. Tire. For one who ties something. But for a layer, yes. For layer, you say tier. Such words are called heteronyms. And you remember, rebel, and rebel. Rebel and rebel.
And
Same
rebel.
spelling, but different pronunciations, Betty.
All right.
Can I go to the others very fast?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, Lugwiri Waokombo of Makerere University in Uganda. Thank you for watching. And please, you say ambiguous. Ambiguous. And you also say devour. Don't say devour. Don't say devour. Lugwiri Waokombo of Makerere University. Dr. Ann Rasugu of Nairobi, you say culture, not culture. Vulture, not vulture. But from what you are asking Dr. Ann Rasugu of Nairobi, you talk of bacterial culture, social culture. Still, it's culture. When we have a word which has the same spelling and same pronunciation, but different meanings, we talk about homonyms, just like pen for writing and pen for keeping animals. Wendy Wanjiro of Aga Khan Primary School in Kisumu, a wonderful girl, Betty. You say bajuriga, bajuriga, bajuriga. Operculum, very big words there. Tarantulas and arachnids. That is bajuriga, operculum, tarantulas, and arachnids. So for this girl, we urge you to keep it up because you seem to love this program so much. So Wendy Wanjiro of Aga Khan, that is it. Anthony Mwaniki Njiriga of St. Louis City, Missouri State in America, or all the way from America, you say procrastinate. Procrastinate. You also say monkey, not monkey. Monkey, but remember you say donkey, Anthony Mwaniki Njiriga. And for that name, it's, I know even Betty will be keen on that name. S-E-A-N. Anthony, that name is Sean. Sean like Sean Paul. And I know some people would argue that why don't they say Sean or Sian, but it's Sean, S-E-A-N. So thank you for watching. Solomon Mulindi of Kaptik. You say Sojan and Cordillera. Sojan and Cordillera. Felix, or locally people say Felix. Felix Murumbutsa of Nairobi, you say juncture and cucumber. Cucumber, not shoshomba. Cucumber. Felix, I hope you get it right. Biki Ogola, also of Nairobi, maisonette. Maisonette, and the second word is simple. Biki, you say absurd. Wakili Jeffrey, or some say locally Joffrey or Joffrey. Jeffrey Sore of Vihiga County. I believe this is a legal advisor to somebody very important in Vihiga County. So Jeffrey Sore, you say tort, T-O-R-T. That is a word which is commonly used in law. Tort. And then tortious. The adjective is tortious. Not tortious, not tortuous, tortious. Grace Ntambi Mutunga, you say succumb, not succumb. And cemetery, not cemetery. Wayne Chavulima Kalika and Nico Minde of USIU, Africa. You say itinerary. Itinerary. Andrew Musiko Wanguche of Mumias, you say ignominious. Ignominious. Then your next word is incongruous. Then Andegwa, Mwalimu Ann Ndegwa of Mugoiri Girls High School in Muranga, you say colonel, not colonel. You also say anekdoki. Don't say anek or anechdoche. And then you say bosom, not bosom. Betty, can we go to the surprise word for the night?
Oh, yes, Willis. Bring it on.
I know. This one, many people would find themselves saying fiery.
Yeah.
Fiery?
Fiery.
No, you talk of fiery. Fiery. A fiery politician, a fiery lawyer, a fiery debater. So you don't say fiery, you also don't say fiery. It's fiery. So we also say piety, not piety or piety for this word. Piety, not piety and not piety. There's that, what we call a triphthong, a glide on three vowel sounds. Aya, pia, piety, fiery. Betty, if you have some knowledge of the English phonology, you'd really enjoy the language and you know, with that wonderful English or command of English that you have, you would really enjoy some of these words. But it's also fun. It's also fun, Betty. Then now we go to the confusing words. This word L-O-O-S-E is causing some storm somewhere, Betty, in the circles or the spheres of English. You say loose.
Loose.
Loose. The upper one, loose. Yes, loose. Something that is not firm. Yes, loose. That is an adjective. Loose. Loose. But the lower one is a verb. You say lose. To lose, like a Z. Lose something. To lose something. But the upper one, loose. It's hanging loose.
Right.
Then, very finally, Betty, breath and breathe. Breath. This is not breathe, it is breath. And the lower one is the verb breathe, to breathe.
All right.
So, Betty, that is all from Kisumu for tonight. How are you?
This is the point to say fire. Moto kabisa. Moto kabisa. Willis, before I let you go, somebody here, I cannot fail to ask this. This question, Willis. Somebody's asking about one of Kenya's most favorite fruits. Is it avocado or avocado? Or avocado?
I'll begin with the first. I'll begin with the adjective, if you don't mind. We say favorite.
Oh,
favorite.
Favorite.
Many people say favorite. It's favorite, Betty, not favorite. Favorite is very common locally, but you say favorite, just like opposite,
Favorite.
not opposite or opposite. Favorite, opposite. So it is rit. But that fruit, Betty, you say avocado. Avocado. You'll agree with me that many people say avocado. Avocado. You know, when you say avocado, it sounds very unique, but Betty, that is not the pronunciation. If you say avocado, it sounds unique. You call it swag.
Swag.
Betty, you're making things to be very interesting, but you say avocado.
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 All right.
Betty, that is it.
Well, Willis, it's always a pleasure having you here on the show. Fantastic lesson tonight. I have a lot of shocks we've gotten, and it's all welcome. Willis, the word master. Remember, you can always reach him at Willis Ochieng 1. That's his Twitter handle. Ask him all the questions. And if you want to also watch him live in action, of course, you just watch Friday Briefing every single Friday. All right. Thank you, Willis, for that. Okay, so this is the time where I say goodbye. And it's been so good having you on the show. I appreciate your company tonight, and praying that you have a fantastic weekend with your family. On Sunday is Mother's Day, so please, please, please do something for that special woman in your life, your mom, your auntie, that towering figure in your life. Do something, surprise them, shock them with something nice. And of course, we'll see you again next week, God willing. Till then, be kind to one another. My name is Betty Kyalo. Good night. Kwaheri.